What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Boleros episode. It's like 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday. Medyo gising na gising pa kami from that game 1 of the Ateneo versus UP finals game. We all know what happened. Makita nyo from the faces of Gab and Maui. Ateneo lost game 1. It was a close game, to be fair. I think it was a winnable game. We'll talk more about that later for Ateneo. It was a winnable game for Ateneo. But UP takes game 1. I think si Save Lucero, yung best player of the game. So we're going to
Rightfully
talk
so.
about that tonight. But before we talk about the Ateneo versus UP game, just wanna shout out to the NU women's basketball team for winning ano ba, like their seventh straight, eighth straight, I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Comment down below kung
Seventh
ano yung
straight in
ilang
cheer dance, pare.
cheer dance, cheer dance.
Cheer dance nila, 7 straight rin pala. Wow.
Oo. Hindi, hindi.
Hindi
Ay,
yata
sorry,
straight,
sorry.
Gab. Hindi straight.
Seventh.
Seventh,
Yung
yeah,
hindi
yeah.
straight, hindi
Hindi
straight.
straight.
Hindi
So
straight.
anyway, congratulations to the NU women's basketball team for winning their nth straight championship sa UAAP Women's. And also, as Gab mentioned, congratulations to the NU cheer dance team for winning, their seventh or whatever nth championship in a few years. Definitely golden age ng NU women's and cheer dance, no? So, um, although I think yung coach nila parang resigned na kasi I think she's getting married, yun yung nabasa ko sa cheer dance, sa cheer dance. But anyway, just wanted to shout
Ay,
out to
pagod
those
na manalo.
um I
Retire
wanted to
while
shout out to
glorious,
those
pare.
exactly, oo nga eh. Shout out to those teams, no? So we want to give recognition to them. Sige. Let's get straight to the point. Let's talk about UP beating Ateneo. I think ano ba, final score was like 73-66, something like that.
72-66.
72-66. UP wins by 6. But UP led all throughout, I want to say, but it was a close game in the end. Ateneo had its chances, but UP sealed the deal. I want to hear your thoughts first. Let's go with Maui.
Uh, First off,
Initial
pag-
reaction lang, Maui. Initial reaction to the
Bad
game.
trip
We'll talk
yan!
about Ateneo and UP later. Each team
heartbreaking para
later.
sa initial
Heartbreaking.
reaction to the game. Well,
Oh,
well as
yun.
an Ateneo
Heartbreaking.
fan, it was heartbreaking. Pero as a basketball fan, you cannot ask for more. Parang it's the first game of the finals and this is round 3 as we mentioned of the finals between Ateneo and UP. And game 1 was a nail biter. UP led by as much as 12 points. Ateneo only led by 2. I think yung first quarter lang, but UP really controlled the game the whole way. On the back of Xav Lucero's I can say it's a breakout game. I think everyone expected. Lucero himself mentioned
Comeback game, pare. Comeback game. From the
comeback
0
game.
points he had nung last Ateneo UP game.
Yeah, definitely comeback game for Lucero against Ateneo. He was 0 for 11 nung last game. I think we mentioned him as a Bolero of the week before. But Xav Lucero, I think yung energy niya both ends of the floor was really contagious to UP. As far as initial reactions, medyo shocked pa ako na I wanted Ateneo to win game 1 para kasi I think I'm hoping as a basketball fan that this game this series goes to 3 games. Para happy lahat.
Okay. Thank you, Mau. Heartbroken si Mau. So, ikaw naman, Gab, anong pakiramdam mo? Anong initial reaction mo to the
Ikaw
game?
muna, Sam. Para iba naman yung order. Ikaw muna, Sam. I want to hear from Ateneo/UP fan. Coming from
Oo
both
nga eh.
sides.
Hindi. So Gab, ikaw muna. Kasi I wanna end yun nga from like an Ateneo/UP perspective. Go ahead, Gab.
Okay, ako, medyo different yung mindset ko coming into this series compared to season 84 in the last series. Kasi, honestly, wala masyadong pressure sa akin kasi alam kong Ateneo was not supposed to be there. I kept telling the
Agreed,
people I was
agreed, agreed.
watching with, sasabi ko, ako chill lang ako kasi alam kong hindi naman tayo ang favorite eh. We were
Agreed.
playing with nothing to lose, honestly. Because kahit tayo, Sam, we predicted Ateneo would be not yung number 3, highest. Diba? Si Maui lang talaga yung positive sa atin about Ateneo eh. Tayo nga, wala tayong expectations on this team eh. We thought it was yung rebuilding year and they're in the finals. They played like not that they were just happy to be there, but they played that like they wanted to win. So I was pretty happy with the performance and also I was pretty happy with how UP responded. Kasi yung like what you said, Sam, they were leading throughout this game. Actually, they won the game the first quarter. Yung first quarter
Yeah.
pa lang, lamang na sila, malaki. And naghahabol na Ateneo the whole game. And every Ateneo run that cut the lead down to 5. Actually, 5 points yung barrier.
5 points nga.
Throughout the game, yung 5 points yung barrier ng
Yun yung
Ateneo.
ceiling
And
eh,
every
no?
time,
Oh.
yeah, every time they cut the lead to 5, UP would have an answer. And honestly, pare, I'm not as medyo disappointed, of course. They lost. It was a very winnable game. Pero I was pretty happy with the performance. Again, we're in the finals. I never expected to watch the finals between Ateneo UP this year. And I'm not as heartbroken as Maui. I am disappointed, of course, but not as heartbroken.
Okay,
Ikaw naman, Sam,
good
from both
point.
sides. You're coming from both sides.
Actually, good point, no, Gab. Actually, I think that's where I'm coming from. Kind of like a similar perspective, as mentioned by Gab. Ateneo ako. To be honest with you, I still cheer for Ateneo kasi Ateneo ako elementary, high school. So ever since Ateneo talaga
Dapat
yung
lang.
Ateneo talaga is what I cheer for. Pero I studied in UP in college. So UP is my second team. So I've always said I've been consistent ever since college na kung hindi man mag-champion ng Ateneo, UP na lang. Wag Lasal, wag any other, wag FEU, wag any other team. Kung hindi man mag-champion yung Ateneo, UP na lang. What did I feel? Same as Gab, I feel like I was a bit more emotional last season just because merong pressure nung 4-peat.
The pressure was on Ateneo yung last season because they were the favorites.
So, exactly. So number one, merong pressure nung 4-peat. I wanted to achieve ulit yung 5-peat or maybe surpass yung 5-peat championship natin. Number two, merong pressure na we were the clear number 1 team. Nakanakaw ko no yung UP nung last game of the season, but clearly we were the number 1 team then. And number 3, we had a very talented lineup last season. Imagine mo na lang si Tyler Tio and si Gian Mamuyak would come off the bench. We had that kind of luxury. I think this season, definitely I didn't expect, as I said last podcast, I felt like nag-overachieve yung Ateneo na making it to the finals. So there's less pressure. Also, you just want to, honestly ako, I think Maui said this kanina. I just want to see 3 competitive games. So, nagchat-chat kami ni Maui, nagchat tayo kanina, Maui. Sabi mo nga, sobrang sakit kasi winnable. So, explanation mo, Mau, di ba? Ang sakit kasi winnable siya. We could have won it, kaya ang sakit. So, to me, my perspective is, actually, hindi siya masakit sa akin because it was a winnable game. Parang for me, knowing na it was a close game, that anybody could have won that game, parang happy na ako sa ganun. Like, as long as hindi natambakan Ateneo or alam mo na yun, hindi nakakahiya. Kasi there were points na akala mo, wala na to eh. There were points
Lalayo,
na
diba? When
malayo.
10-point
Yeah,
lead
exactly.
in the first quarter, second quarter, and fourth quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Diba?
So to me, the fact na Ateneo could have really won this game says a lot about how competitive the game was. So yun. So that's my general perspective. I think UP won this fair and square. I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
Ateneo
I had
had its
no.
chances, but they missed it. So, yun lang talaga yun. But looking forward to the next game. Wednesday ba ang next game?
Wednesday,
Wednesday?
6 o'clock.
Six
Okay.
ulit.
Sige. So, we've talked about how we feel, no? Let's get into the details. Ano sa tingin niyo yung what cost Ateneo the win? Bakit sila natalo? Gab, you wanna start this time?
I don't think Ateneo, what caused Ateneo the win? I think UP just played more composed and better basketball. I just love, Maui talked about it. Zave Lucero played, he was fucking good. As in,
Both
sobrang galing.
ends. Both ends.
Both
Yung
ends. And you talk
block
about,
sa dunk ni Kun, no?
ayun nga, that play was the turning point of the game. If you remember, that was when Ateneo broke the 5-point barrier and
Two
cut the
points
lead
na
down to
ata,
2.
yeah.
And you had the feeling na, okay, this is the run. 58-56. This is the run that Ateneo is gonna go on. But that's a 5-point turnaround. A block by Zave Lucero on a Chris Kuhn dunk leading to a Harold
Three
Alarcon
by
3. That's a
Alarcon.
5-point swing.
Yeah.
That's a 5-point swing right there. And that was it. They couldn't break that barrier again after the last few minutes where they cut it down to 4. But that barrier of 5 points still stood. So Zave Lucero played a hell of a game. And also, Zave Lucero basically rendered Kai Balungay useless.
Yeah.
Kai Balungay, lay
Yun ang
an
malaking bagay. Yun ang
Yeah,
malaking
and
bagay.
I know you hate Josh Lazaro, Sam. Or not hate, pero I know you dislike
Hindi.
him. But he was the only guy capable of matching up with Zave Lucero. He was the only guy capable.
De ganito
Diba?
Gab.
And
What I wish is we get Kai Balungay's offense, Josh Lazaro's defense, and then combine natin na lang sila into one player. Yun na lang sana mangyari.
ayun nga eh. Sana, di ba?
Carl Tamayo
Wishful
na yun.
thinking. But
Kaya tamayan na yun.
exactly. But that's the decision that Coach Stab had to do. You had to make, diba? In the game, go with a guy who could get you some offense, which was Kai Bulungay, or go with a guy who can actually handle and box out Zave Lucero. I got no one could box out Zave Lucero in that game. So in the game earlier. So yeah, Zave Lucero just out rendered Kai Balungay useless. And I think that was a turning point also. The injury to Fortsky Padrigao, I think, was also a big blow. Although Chris Kuhn kind of made up for that. But Fortsky was having a hell of a game. That was one point I wanted to make. I was watching Fortsky and his mastery of the pick and roll is amazing. Sobrang talino niya in the pick and roll. Ewan ko kung yung napansin niyo yan, guys, nung first quarter, nung first half. I think siya yung nagdala nung he kept the game close in the first half.
Yeah.
He
was
all
weaving
of his points,
through the defense.
Through the defense.
In and out, tapos biglang
Maganda rin floater game niya kasi. Malaking bagay.
Yeah, his floater game.
Floater.
He would wait for the roller, and if Diouf would go to the roller, he would put up his floater game. Actually, very, very Luka Doncic-esque, how he commands the pick and roll game, and also very much like SJ Belangel. I'm very much reminded of how SJ could maneuver around the pick and roll. So that was clear. But yeah, it was UP, pare. Zave Lucero made big plays talaga by Zave. Ikaw, Mau.
Okay.
Or Sam.
Maui.
Ano tingin nyo?
Yeah, Maui. Anything you want to add to that?
I think si Lucero deserves all the recognition for playing his art out both ends of the floor. We talked about him nung podcast after the NU game, and I think he's inspired kasi yung family niya, everyone flew in. He had
Sinabi mo nga.
2 or 3 dunks nung first half pa lang nung last game. So you know he's fired up. Xav Lucero is fired up. And he talks a big game. He expects big from himself. Sabi niya he's an MVP contender, and definitely yung showing niya sa Final Four right now is with Carl Tamayo banged up and Diouf not really dominating sa kanina ng game. Lucero dominated both ends of the floor, and I think yung energy niya was contagious to the bench. One of the key points I think why UP won this game was because of their bench. Even if Carl Tamayo and
Agreed.
Diouf, even if Carl Tamayo and Diouf went sa bench, Harold Alarcon and Cyril
Galinato.
Gonzalez and Galinato, but more so, Galinato dominated the bigs with sheer strength, and Zab Lucero just finished yung putback, finish yung misses niya. But if you talk about the bench of UP kanina, I think yung 19 points that you get from Harold Alarcon and
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, Cyril Gonzalez is very critical. Tsaka yung puntos nila, I think yung puntos ni
Timing.
yung timing ng puntos ni Harold Alarcon and Cyril Gonzalez, puro mga patay sunog. I think the drives of Cyril Gonzalez were very crucial. The threes of Harold Alarcon were very critical. Not even just yung 5-point swing play during the Lucero Kun block. He even hit a 3-pointer, I think, no fourth quarter to beat the buzzer.
To extend the lead to 10. Yeah, he did.
To extend the lead to 10. So Terence Forteo was basically unplayable kanina. Abadiano was his usual self na pest on defense, but Spencer also was a pest on defense, but he only had 5 points. But when you get 19 points from players that you don't usually get 10 points combined, getting 19 points from those two were crucial. And I think it's heartbreaking for me yung sa Ateneo, because if you look at yung free throw numbers ng Ateneo, I think they shot the ball pretty
Yes.
bad. If you saw yung game puro 1 out of 2, they actually shot 57% of free throws. 15 of 26. And in a very close
That was the game.
That was a game.
Yeah.
In a very
That was
close
the
game,
game.
those 11 points would have been crucial.
So-
Kung si Edelfonso hit both free throws, or si Lazaro hit both, or even Kwame hit both free throws during one occurrence, might have been a different game.
Yeah, so actually I want to go there. I want to jump on that kasi actually Maui na point out mo yung two things that I wanted to point out, no. I think what spelled the difference in this game, I agree with you. Number one for UP, it's the unsung heroes. Zave Lucero, we sort of expect him to score that way. Pero tama ka, Alarcon, Gonzalez and Galinato, those are guys that you don't really expect to score to combine for 24 points, but they did. 6 points nga lang si Galinato, but he out-rebounded and out-muscled si Gio Chu and si Matthew
He's
Daves.
too
No? Sabi
big,
mo nga,
man.
si
Outside
Matthew
of the
Daves
box,
couldn't handle him. Matthew
tsaka
Daves couldn't
outside of the
handle
box
him.
score. Tama ka, Sam. Outside of the box score, if you just watch the game, you could really see yung impact ni Galinato.
He was
And
muscling them.
he was muscling them, both Lazaro and Daves or even Diochu. But for me, even yung pinaka-critical talaga na contribution ni Galinato kanina was holding his own versus Ange Kwame nung start ng
Kwame.
game.
Nung starter siya, no?
Crucial kasi, if you look at Ateneo and UP, the MVP from both teams is Kwame and Diouf, definitely. Kwame was the MVP last year, and Diouf is probably the MVP this year. Anytime you win the game without them, yung minutes when they're off the floor, when Ateneo wins minutes without Kwame, you can see it's very critical. Kanina, Coach Gold went with a different lineup. He started Galinato and Lucero instead of Tamayo and Diouf. And to think, even if he decided to go that route, I think UP led by 3 points bago pumasok si Tamayo and Diouf. To me, those were probably, si Gab was right when he mentioned that UP won the game in first quarter. Because those 4 or 5 minutes that they were able to stay close with Ateneo without Diouf and Tamayo, that won the game.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yung naghabol na lang yung Ateneo throughout the whole game eh.
Yeah, tama. So sorry, going back. So I think for UP, what helped them win was the bench scoring, or yun nga yung mga bench players natin. And then I think I agree with Maui, no. For Ateneo, what sort of, spell the difference was the free throw shooting. To be fair, they both shot 57%. UP, I think Tamayo missed 3, Diof also missed 3. And from what I know, at least from what I've seen from other UP games, decent free throw shooters tong si Tamayo and si Diof eh. So they don't usually miss that much, no? Pero, so they both shot 57%. But with Ateneo, I looked at their last 3 games. Roughly average nila is 66% free throw shooting. So this is lower than their average in the last 3 games. In particular, si Fortsky missed free throws, 2 free throws. Usually spot on siya. I think si Andrade also missed a free throw. And then as you mentioned, Maui, I think nung tail end, yung last few minutes of the fourth quarter, Andrade and Kwame missed a lot of free throws. And remember, mukha siyang malaki, 6-point win siya. Pero it was a close game, 'di ba? Na they just had to foul. So if they had just made yung 66% nila, that's around like 2 more free throws. I think it could have been like a game down the wire eh. Na hindi na nila kailangan masyado mag-foul towards the end, no? So I think that the free throw shooting talaga, it really hurt Ateneo this time. Plus may extra free throw yung UP because as usual si Coach Tab may technical. Si Coach Tab ba 'yon yung na technical?
Yeah, I think si
Yes,
Coach
Coach
sabi na
Tab.
Tama, 'di
technical.
ba? So
That
as
was on
usual
Kwame's second foul kasi eh.
may free 1 point na naman yung kalaban dahil na technical si Coach Tab. Yeah, anything else you want to say, or maybe what are you looking forward to? Like what changes do they have to make, or what
Then,
are
before we go to game 2, pare, I do wanna I do have some points for nung game 1 kanina. The first, on a medyo lighter note, we got 2 wedgies. Did you see that?
Oo.
Oh,
Ayun ba yun?
tawa ako ng
We
tawa
got
Kagulangan
eh.
2
ni Kun.
wedgies!
Kagulangan ni Kun.
Tama,
Diba?
tama. Yung
Uh,
fast break ni Kun.
Oo. In a parang 1 minute or 2 minutes span, they got 2
Halos
wedgies.
magkasunod
So,
eh. Halos magkasunod sila eh.
magkasunod. So, I was very happy to see that. Yung mag-start na ba tayo yung magbilang? Joke lang.
Wedgie count.
Yung wedgie
Shout
count.
out to
Yung,
No Dunks.
yeah, our inspiration. My second point is for UP naman. I've been chiming about the importance of JD Kagulangan to this team. And you could see kay Coach nung game kanina, Coach Gold could barely keep JD Kagulangan out of the game. I think he played 29 minutes. Most of the minutes were with Jerry. Most of the minutes without him were with Jerry Abadjano. Started the game. He started the game and started the second half, I think. So, and talagang they look really different if JD is on the court. They barely
Actually,
turn the
Gab,
ball over.
I think the coaches listen to you kasi 'di ba ayaw mo ilaro si Waki Manuel so hindi linaro tas nanalo, tas sabi mo ayaw mo ilaro si Fortea tapos hindi linaro tas nanalo. So I think the coaches should listen to your advice. But anyway, go ahead.
Yung feel ko na yung nanonood sila ng Boleros, pare. Yung feel ko lang. One of our 152 subscribers yung isang assistant coach ng UP. Or baka si Coach Gold mismo.
Pwede,
So yun,
pwede.
iba talaga when JD Kagulangan is there. And their offense is run to a T. Their offense is run so tightly. Their execution is so good when JD is there. And the timing of his shots also is pretty good. Talagang alam niya kung kailan niya yung kailangan mag-score at kung kailan niya kailangan bigyan ng bola yung ibang teammates niya. He's just so good. And second,
Plus he's such a pesky defender, As in
yes,
sobrang pesky.
actually, that was my next point, Sam. Kasi naramdaman natin yung we've been talking about this since the start of the season. Now we live or die with Fortsky Padrigao. And because Fortsky, honestly, he's the only one capable of initiating his own offense. Dave can, and to a certain extent, BJ Andrade, but not as effective as Fortsky Padrigao in terms of generating offense for himself and for others. Chris Kuhn towards the end ran the point, diba, when they subbed out Gab Gomez. And you could see that he had trouble. He has trouble with smaller guards like JD. We talked about that play during the last minute where JD
Foul yun.
stripped. I thought it was a foul too, Mao. But
Foul.
they've been calling it physical naman eh. They've been letting them play physical on both ends. So, but yeah, ako para sa akin foul yun eh. May
Well,
contact. So,
yeah. To be fair, like, nung live, when I was watching the game, hindi ko napansin. Parang, maybe the refs missed it talaga. Kasi, to be fair, like, it just looked like he tried to swipe, tapos,
oh,
gumanon
bang
na
bang
lang
play. Bang bang
si,
play.
it could have gone either way naman. For me, at least, from my perspective. Anyway, go ahead, Gab.
Yun, so yeah, to your point na JD Kagulangan is a pesky defender. He just he's a pest to Chris Kuhn. So, and the backup of Fortsky, Gab Gomez, while he is a steady point guard to set up the offense, he cannot generate his own offense, di ba? He can't uh, get a shot on his own. Eh. So that's the problem. That's the only guy who actually tried to generate his own offense was Chris Kuhn, and that's my next point. I think that was a good game from Chris Kuhn. Don't you guys think so? Diba?
Yeah.
And
Yep. Then I wanna give flowers to Chris Kuhn kasi sobrang kinabubwisitan natin siya nung start of the season, but he's grown so much as a player. So kudos to Chris Kuhn. The confidence is oozing.
yeah, and we were right. And I think si Coach Tab ata yung isa rin sa ating mga 152 subscribers when we were saying na Chris Kuhn's best position is when he plays off the ball as a secondary ball handler / scorer, because he can make his own shot, he can create his own shot, and we saw it earlier. And if we're looking forward to next season, that is very encouraging because a lot of the ball handling and playmaking responsibilities now go to Chris Kuhn next season without David Defonso, without VJ Andrade. Si Chris Kuhn, actually, aside from Forts, si Chris Kuhn na yung main guy. Diba? So that was very encouraging for me to see Chris Kuhn become so aggressive. Love seeing him play like that. What else? Iba pang notes ko. I don't know.
Para siyang
I think
para siyang ang naalala ko sa kanya, yung role niya is like Adrian Wong, like a slightly taller Adrian Wong.
Actually, same size sila, mga 6'4".
Ganun ba? Akala ko like mga 6'2 lang si Wong.
Malaki si Adrian Wong.
Yeah,
yun. So yun ang naalala kong, that's how Tab uses si Chris Kuhn for me. Anyway, go ahead, Gab.
And yung my last point is I just love seeing the chess match between the two coaches, Coach Gold and Coach Tab. Coach Gold would also change up his defense every once in a while and would bring out a zone.
He changed the lineup. He changed the starting lineup.
Yep. So talk about the mind games between the two coaches. I think they have great respect for each other also, and you can see it by the way they game plan. Ateneo also changed their offense. Did you see that Coach Tab ran a lot of plays for Ange Comet to get a three? To shoot threes? That's incredible that Coach Tab would trust Ange Comet. Actually, the last play, the last shot by Ange, that was a play run for Ange to get a three.
Nakadalawang three kasi siya. Nakadalawang three siya.
Nag-hesitate lang eh. Sayang, dapat hindi siya nag-hesitate eh.
Yeah. But it almost went in. So, ako para sa akin, it was a winnable game. If that shot, it was a good game. If that shot went in, a different result, yung might have come our way. But I just love seeing it. I think it was a great game. So, ano ba? Kayo?
Sige, Maui, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think just to add to Gab's point about Chris Kuhn, this is, I think, in the next segment, I'm to talk about game 2. Hopefully, Chris Kuhn is healthy. Sa press conference kasi si Coach Tab mentioned that, yes, and confirmed Chris Kuhn dislocated his shoulder kanina. And he had to pop it back in. Kaya napansin nyo nung loose ball, Chris Coon couldn't contest the loose ball agad because he was popping in his shoulder at that time. But yeah, I think I've been a very big fan of Chris Coon ever since he started with Ateneo, and I think he's primed for a big year next year. And finally, we were hoping to see this Chris Coon nung first round. And I think consistency is not an issue anymore. Parang past few games ng Ateneo, Chris Coon has really showed up. But yeah, I think to Gab's credit, yeah, I think Coach Gold shying away from Fortea kanina and going with Jerry Abadiano and JD Kagulangan exclusively really paid off, especially since it gave more minutes to both Alarcon and Gonzalez, which are unsung
Gonzalez.
heroes ng game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think definitely we need Chris Coon, pero we also need to see Kai Balungay bounce back. I think in the next game, yun nga sabi mo nga Gab, I think he was rendered useless by Zave Lucero in this game. I just
Actually,
wanna
3 games na siya, Sam. Just to cut you short about Kai Balungay. 3 games na siya kalat. Parang yung first 3 games niya with itong 3 games niya with UP, yung second round, I think the first round he also scored 0 and then kanina he scored 0. Yung
pero
second round
yung
naman
second
na
round
scored,
ba hindi siya gumawa?
I think 2 or 4 points lang siya nung second round, but he played
Mismatch
more
talaga.
minutes kasi kahit papano he was able to match up with Zav Lucero better.
I see. Okay, sige.
Yeah.
So we still haven't seen a good game from Kai Balungay versus UP. I also just want to say sorry to the Ateneo community kasi since season 84 every time pinapapanood ko yung asawa ko ng Ateneo UP game. UP kasi siya graduate nananalo yung UP. But pag hindi siya nanonood, nananalo yung Ateneo. So actually yung game 2, for example, yung second round pala, I mean, hindi kami nanood because we had an something, no? And then my wife didn't know na championship na pala today. Nabanggit ko lang kaninang umaga. Sabi ko, kinakabahan na ako, Ateneo UP, ganyan. Tapos parang siya, ha? Na naman? Tapos parang ako, finals na. Tapos, ha? Manonood tayo? Ganyan. Hindi, wag ka manood. Obviously, nanood kami together and so I think that's why nanalo yung UP today. So I'll do my best to the Ateneo community. I'll make sure na ma-miss ng wife ko yung game on Wednesday para naman mag-game 3 tayo. Gab, anything you're looking forward to in the next game or yeah, any comments on the next game? Wala kang audio, Gab. Wala kang audio. Wala kang audio, Gab.
Anything I'm looking forward to, an Ateneo win, brother. An Ateneo win. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Both as a fan of the
you
game
both as a
and
fan
fan of
and
Ateneo.
yes. I want the game 3 and my fiance who's from UP is dancing right now with her new UP shirt.
Meron na namang cameo.
No, but seriously, for game 2, I think we're gonna see a brand new offense again for both teams because both teams actually ran new offensive sets than previous. Ateneo shied away from the dribble handoff action that they were actually since the Adamson game hindi nila ginagawa and ran more pick and roll with Ange, and to some extent was actually off ball yung pick and roll also for off ball pick and roll but off ball screen for Ange to get them free, and actually yung kinakabahan ako actually for Dave
That's a good point.
Medyo Spencer has his number talaga. He had 10 points a while ago, but they were hard 10 points. He had to work for those 10 points. And
sobrang difficult fadeaways yung mga ginagawa niya. Nasushoot
kahit yung 3-pointer niya, contested.
Oh.
Yes. And that was the problem if you don't have a Fortsky Patrigao out there. A lot of playmaking has to go through Dave. And he has a hard time against Spencer. Just to be frank, Spencer really alam niya alam niya paano ilaro si Dave So Hirap. It's weird also. I do hope that Forcy Patricao does not go through cramps again. I don't know why he
Actually,
keeps on
I
getting
think all
cramps.
Cramps
games.
ba?
Yeah, cramps.
Cramps.
I think
Ah,
all games against UP nag-cramp si Padrigao because of the
I
pressure
think that's a
defense.
credit to the UP defense din, no?
Yes.
Talagang
Yes.
pinapagod si Fordsky.
Yeah.
Parang lack of conditioning ba? Hindi ko alam. Hindi
Hindi
siya
eh.
umiinom ng
Against
electrolytes.
UP lang talaga eh. I think Gaba, correct me if you guys can comment if I'm wrong, but I think Fortsky Padrigao cramps every UP game. All 3 games this season.
Grabe.
Yeah, tama. You're right. He did. So, yun. We can't win without Fortsy on. Well, kaya naman, but it's gonna be very difficult because yun nga, shot creation really lacks in this team. As in, it's very shallow, very shallow if you compare it to UP. And I do expect UP's bench to come out again in game 2. Their bench is really solid. Uh, I do hope that we get the same rotation as we got here from Coach Go, that rotation meaning a lot of JD Kagolangan minutes. Because honestly, ang ganda yung panoorin ng UP offense when JD Kagolangan is on the floor. Talagang iba talaga siya. He's a different kind of player. And
Steady
honestly,
talaga
di
eh.
ba galing nung
Steady.
Lasal? Yung galing siya Lasal, di ba? He came from
Yeah,
Lasal. He
Lasal.
transferred.
Green Hills
Why
ata.
the hell didn't Lasal play this kid? He's so
Kasalanan
good.
ni
He's so
Coach
good.
Bird.
I'm so
Kasalanan ni Coach Bird yun.
Coach Bird pa ba yan? Hindi pa si Pumare?
Oh. After ni Bird, umalis siya. Doon
Eh,
siya umalis.
okay. So
sabay niya sila Evan Nelly. Hindi ba nakasabay niya sila Evan Nelly? O even before?
Hindi.
Even before?
sila Aljun ata. Si
O
Aljun.
sila Aljun
sina
Melesio
Melesio.
kasabay niya eh. Mahirap din.
Melesio.
Mahirap din pero
Tight
grabe.
backcourt talaga.
This guy is so good. Sobrang galing nitong
He's so good talaga.
Kagulangan na to.
He knows when to speed up. He knows when to slow down. He knows when to kick out. Ang ganda naman kick out pass niya. Galing ni JD pare.
Tsaka
Sobrang impressed talaga ako.
just to add about JD Kagulangan, we talk about him being small and all. Yung rebounds niya, he had 8 rebounds today. Tsaka yung he had crucial rebounds that were converted to points. May isa siyang put back. And if we want to go back to our nightmares, yung last year, galing sa offensive rebound yon before he hit the game-tying shot na crazy
yung fade away, yung retreat to the 3-point line.
That came from an offensive rebound with the shot clock running down. Diba? So JD Kagulangan he's been the best point guard, I think, for the UAAP the past 2 years. As far as being the pure point guard.
Okay. So, I think that is it for us. Looking forward to the game on Wednesday. We will definitely talk about the game on Wednesday. Win or lose, sino man manalo on Wednesday, Ateneo or UP. We're going to have a podcast on Wednesday to talk about the results. We'll see, and hopefully all the players from both teams are healthy. And then hopefully we'll get to see everyone play, no? And have a competitive game. Okay? That's it. Comment down below kung what are your thoughts from the game? Did we miss any important points that we should have talked about? What are your predictions for game 2 of the finals between Ateneo and UP? And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night. See you guys.
Thank you.
Trabaho na bukas.